What's up, YouTube? Erod212 here, and today I want to talk to you about Marvel value stamps. All right, so as you can see, I wanted to talk to you about the Marvel value stamps. This is another tip for newer collectors and some older collectors who might not know all the books that are involved in this. So in March of 1974 through December of 1975, Marvel decided to put out what they call the Marvel value stamp. Inside a select number of books, there were 100 stamps in Series A. There would be a stamp which you can cut out and place into a book. You collected all 100 of these stamps, and there are some beautiful stamps. None of it was original art. It was all recreational art of some of their main characters. And at that time, Marvel was also going through their horror series, so they incorporated a bunch of the characters from the horror genre that they were putting out. But here's the big thing with this. When that stamp is cut out, what does it do? It affects the book. And what does that mean? That means that most of us know that Hulk 180 and Hulk 181 have a Marvel value stamp. We know to check for that value stamp when we're purchasing a book. If you don't, always make sure that the book, if you're buying it raw, has the value stamp. CGC will note it. Sometimes, it does not affect the story, but the page cut out. What we don't know is all the other books that this affects. There are quite a few keys out there that when you're going to cons, you're going to cons and purchasing books can be affected, and if you do not check, you could be buying a book that's incomplete. I wouldn't want that happen to anybody. It's happened to me. It's happened to a bunch of other guys I know, but I want to go through a list of books that you need to look for. Now, also know that at the end of December of that year, Marvel went into book number 2, and it was book B, and that book consisted of another 100 stamps. These stamps now were 10 stamps would make a puzzle, and there was some interesting puzzles I actually kind of liked when I was doing some research on it, especially the Stan Lee one. That's a really nice puzzle. But I want to go through this list with you and just talk to you about these books so that when you're out there on the hunt and you're looking to buy a certain key, you make sure that you either A, check for the Marvel value stamp, or B, speak to the vendor and tell him, or ask him actually, if the book has a Marvel value stamp intact. If he doesn't know, ask if you can check the book. That way you don't lose some money. I think it's a good little tool to use. It's something I utilize, but when I went through this list, I couldn't even believe the amount of books that were on this list. All right, so let's start this list off. First book I'm going to talk to you about is Amazing Spider-Man 134. First appearance of the Tarantula. That book has a Marvel value stamp. Another book that has a value stamp, and a book that everybody's been getting, and guys should check their books, Amazing Spider-Man 135, the second appearance of the Punisher. That also has a value stamp. Next book is Amazing Spider-Man 136, and that is that first Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin. And ASM 144, the first clone of Gwen Stacy. That also has a Marvel value stamp. Astonishing Tales 23, second appearance of Fin Fang Foom. Astonishing Tales 25, first appearance of Deathlock. A book that's starting to pick up a little steam because of some rumors, Captain America 180, first appearance of Captain America as Nomad. Captain Marvel number 33, the origin of Thanos. Book that a lot of people buy. In some of these books, what happens is they're not major keys. You're buying them, but you're paying $25 for these books. And why should you buy an incomplete book? Or you find it at a flea market, or you find it at a LCS or something. Make sure you check that book, all right? Next book is Daredevil 111, first appearance of the Silver Samurai. Next book is Doctor Strange #1, the first solo titled Doctor Strange book. A book that a lot of people were picking up, Giant Size Defenders #3. That's the first appearance of Korvac, rumored to be part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Giant Size Fantastic Four #4. First appearance of Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man. Although he appears in this book, Jamie Madrox is a mutant who was an integral part of the X-Men animated series. So watch out for that book. We're all aware of Hulk 180, the first cameo of Wolverine. Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine. And Hulk 182, the trifecta in that series, because it has that opening panel. All three of these books have Marvel value stamps. A book that I loved reading, and I think will have good future specs somewhere along the line, is Invaders #1. And that's when you get the team up of Captain America, Namor, the Human Torch, Bucky, and Toro. Also introduces Union Jack along the way and some other really good characters. Iron Fist #1, his solo ongoing series. Talking about Iron Fist, Marvel premiere #15. Yes, a book that has gotten super hot and people are buying left and right. I know I bought one recently. I didn't even check for the stamp. Take a look. Power Man #19, first appearance of Cottonmouth. Cottonmouth, big part of that series went on Netflix. So how many people checked if they had a missing Marvel value stamp when they purchased that book? Tomb of Dracula #25 is another one. That's first appearance of Hannibal King. Tomb of Dracula 45. From the second, that would be Series B, has the first appearance of Deacon Frost. Two big books. Here's one that a lot of people sleep on. Daredevil 131. First appearance of Bullseye. That has a Marvel value stamp in it. So make sure, all right, guys. The last one is going to be X-Men #97. First appearance of Lilandra, who plays the love interest of Charles Xavier and has a huge role in the whole Starjammer series with Corsair and the Starjammers on the X-Men. So again, just a little tip, things to look for when you're out there shopping for books. Make sure, again, like I said, that if you're at a con, ask the vendor if the book has its Marvel value stamp intact. If he doesn't know, ask if he can check. All right. If you're at a local flea market or something, thumb through the book, look for it. They're usually towards the back end by an advertisement. And also make sure that if you're at a local LCS, speak to the LCS and tell them, hey, does that have my value stamp intact? And 9 out of 10 times a good LCS will know. But if he hasn't checked, check, and you might save yourself some money. So let me know what you guys thought of that video. I thought it was informative, but comments are always great. And until my next video,